Happy Thursday, almost Friday. We're almost to the weekend. I am looking forward to it. Today, God revealed a lot of things to me this morning, especially this evening. And what I'm about to share, it's not easy to repeat, but it's necessary. I know that God wants me to share this at this point, not only for healing for me, but to help someone. Someone needs this message. So here it goes. So I had spoke about hitting rock bottom and the situationship that I had walked away from. But God revealed something to me tonight. He was showing me after I walked away about being accountable for what I had done. I had been so focused on the betrayal, the deceit, feeling used, unworthy, unloved by somebody that was just as broken as I was. I wasn't taking the time at that time to look at, how did I get here? Why did this happen? Why did I act the way I did? I have a issue with forgiving people, and then immediately after forgetting about what they did. And it wasn't until this evening that he had pointed out to me being molested as a child and not having that truly addressed, even though I told. It was just kind of like water under the bridge, like, so it happened. Move on, let it go. No accountability. And so today just kind of was like, wow, no accountability. I'm forgiving people that are hurting me over and over and over and not expecting accountability. But and still letting them in, no boundaries either. But I paid a big price for this lesson. As I had said before, and for those that are just now tuning in and didn't hear my video about hitting rock bottom, I was in a situationship with a gentleman, with a man, and there became a point where I started supporting him financially with award money that I received. Now, with this award money, I had intended on, it was like a second start. I had intended on doing repairs in my house and paying off some debt. It really was a second start. But then this man came into my life and we connected over whatever. And I really loved him. I really cared about him. And just like I did with my the father of my children, I wanted to help him. At the time, I didn't realize that he kind of was in his own mess that he created. And I was trying to save him from it. And by being there and by acting like a partner and being supportive and not just emotionally, but financially. And so these checks lasted a good 10 months. I didn't have to dip into my own money. However, the money that I was supposed to be using wasn't utilized for what I needed it to. But at the time I said, you know what, I can do this. I thought it was the right thing to do. Looking back, I know it wasn't. But I remember that was in September 2016. But I remember June of that following year, the last check had came. Was it June? Yeah, it was June. And handing money over for him to pay his mortgage. I felt like I had done, that's when I started to feel like I had done something wrong. All that money that was supposed to help me and my children, I gave away. Well, with the intent of he was going to pay it back. As time went on, I had to borrow money from my family. I'm so thankful to God that they were there, that they were supportive. But they didn't know what was really going on, why I needed their help. But regardless of the fact, it was that following February of 2018 that God was really saying, look, I need you to move. I need you to get out of this. I can't help you if you stay in this situation. Just so many revelations were coming to me that, none of this makes sense. This is chaos and confusion. And I finally listened. And I walked away. But again, I walked away feeling like, okay, it's his fault. He did, he did this to me. He took the money that I was willingly giving to him. And I'm not saying he doesn't share any fault in this, but the fact of the matter is I allowed this. And when I walked away, I also said, keep the money. I wanted to cut all ties. I didn't want anything to do with him. I knew that he was seeing another woman, and I knew that I was funding that. And I just was really heartbroken. And I had to tell myself, you know what, Casondra, that money that you spent was on one of the biggest lessons, educational academies that you've been to, and just call it a loss and move forward. And I did. But God said, I need you to be accountable. I need you to understand what you did wrong, because I don't want you to make the same mistakes. I don't want you to go through this again. And it hurt, because it really made me examine my ways and actions, not just in this, but in many other situations. And it's hard to say that you've done something wrong, well, at least for me, that I made wrong decisions, that I made wrong choices. And things were not easy after that. I struggled to catch up. I almost lost my house. And I didn't know better. Well, I did, but I didn't care. It's still emotional because I took some big risks. I'm a parent of 3 boys, and I was putting my love life first and not putting them first. And I could have not had a roof over our head because of decisions I was making. I thank God, though. I do. I thank him for opening my eyes and helping me understand why I did what I did. And he said, I have more for you, more lessons for you. That December of last year this time, actually, one of my twins had pneumonia, and I had to miss a week's worth of work, and I didn't have any sick time to pay it out. And my check, I'll never forget it, was $79. I remember I posted on my Facebook that God is good, because there were some blessings that came in at the right time, but $79 was my check. And it just so happened not too long after that, maybe a few weeks later, this person popped up and said that there were some things that he needed back that he had given me. And when he showed up to retrieve them in conversation, because he had always told me, if you ever need anything, I'm there for you. I got you, whatever it is. And I believed that. And I said to him, listen, my check was $79. Would you be able to help me with some money? And he told me, in a few weeks, I can help you with some money. And I was saying what I was thinking, because I remember saying, okay, I won't hold my breath, not realizing that I spoke it, but I just wasn't anticipating him to follow through. And I don't know if me saying that gave him permission to not follow through, because he never did. He never gave me any money. He never contacted me. I'm sure he would probably say that I should have reached out to him and called him and asked him. I'm just not going to do that. That's unnecessary. If you say that you're going to do something, I'm trusting and believing that you will. But God made a way. It's just, I'm not mad at myself. I've forgiven myself, which is the hardest thing to do. Forgiving him was a lot easier than it was to forgive myself, because again, I put myself in this situation. However, had I not been in this, had this not happened, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I would not be sharing this on social media. I would not have God in my life right now, working in and through me. I have to give God the glory. I have to give him the glory. And here I am now, getting ready to go into a new year. And I'm still being accountable for some things that I have done, but I'm thankful that God loved me enough to address those things. Sometimes we have people around us that give us tough love, and we don't want to hear what they have to say, even though we know that they're right. And God, he was giving me some tough love, and I knew he was right. And it made me feel better that he pointed these things out to me, so this way I wouldn't make the same mistakes again. We all make mistakes. No one is perfect. But do we learn from them? That's the big message. Do we learn from those lessons? Do we master those lessons? And I believe I mastered those lessons. I learned that I can stand on my own 2 feet, and that I'm a strong person, and that I am able to take care of me and mine through the grace of God, and that I am loved by him, and that I know that I belong to him, and he loves me unconditionally. I don't have to buy his love. I just love the fact even how he said, listen, you want to give to people, you're going to do it this way. You're going to do it on social media. You can give as much as you want to, and love as much as you want to on social media. It won't cost you a thing. And that's exactly what he did. I remember getting on here last year and saying, God, can I just have like 500 followers so I can reach them and give them the word? And, God tells us, don't put what you're asking for. Don't make it so small, because you make it hard for me to exceed your expectations. And he has more than exceeded my expectations. And I'm just glad that what I'm talking about, and the things that I'm saying, and the encouragement I'm giving, and the glory I'm giving to God, is reaching somebody. It's helping somebody in some way. And to know that I didn't go through all these things, and it was just because I'm glad I went through these things, and I'm sharing them to help somebody else. So if this was for you, I pray that you know that you are forgiven. Forgive yourself, love yourself in whatever situation that you were dealing with. And know that God, if he's holding you accountable right now, it's because he loves you. And he wants to make sure that you don't put yourself in a situation like that again. That you elevate from where you are, not stay stuck. And that he has more for you. He wants to take you into other directions and just love on you. And I'm accepting of all that. So, yeah, that was deep for me. It was deep for me, but it was necessary for me to share it. So, until next time, God bless you. Friday is upon us. It's 11:05 here. So I'm excited for tomorrow, excited for the weekend, and I hope you are too. God bless you, and I pray that he continues to move in and through you as well.